These are hard to make. I don't know how many I made. Not a good day. I have a very busy day, but let's get at it. Le Corbusier. Let's talk about Le Corbusier. I have a few things to say, um, and then I want to talk a little bit about the film that we're going to see. Finally, color. Carmelo is teaching a movie in color. All right. I was really intrigued that you talked so much about traffic. And I think in a way it's a symptom of the way Le Corbusier thinks about the city. Remember at the very beginning of the essay, he's saying, I'm designing a city against congestion. And so for him, efficiency, and flow are essential, completely essential. And so our talking about traffic in a way is a reflection of the way that he thinks of the city. I have a good friend that he's an architect that said, Le Corbusier sort of forgot that people live in cities. He kept thinking about traffic, he kept thinking about all sorts of things, but he forgot pedestrians. And so it's really curious how we have this conversation about walking and driving and all of that. I really enjoyed that part of our conversation. There was something that you didn't stress too much, but I want to stress it because Le Corbusier really wants to stress it, and that's verticality. The idea that cities go up, they don't go out. Cities like LA, they're not Corbusian cities. Yes, they're highways, but it's not a city in the Corbusian manner. New York is too tight, it's too congested, there's no flow, and therefore it's not Corbusian either. So it's a vertical city, but it's not a vertical city with openness. And so that verticality should not sacrifice space and flow, which is why he wants large spaces between the skyscrapers that he's building. Now, I'm not saying, nor is anybody saying, that Corbusier invented skyscrapers. Skyscrapers existed before him. It's just that he's thinking of that idea of verticality, and the skyscraper is the perfect building or structure. Let's call it a structure for the creation of verticality. So he doesn't want to take more space. He wants that space to go up. There were a smattering of comments that were talking about something, but we never used these two words that I find really important in Le Corbusier: uniformity, sameness, and repetition. That once you have a design, you repeat that design. And this is one of the things that sort of drives me crazy about Le Corbusier, the idea that you have a design and then you just repeat that design and you make it all uniform. Most cities are not interested in that. This is when efficiency seems to be taking over the idea of diversity. There's a moment in the essay where he talks about the car, about how cars are built, and he compares that to the construction of a custom-made house by an architect. And he says, and I'm going to quote, "A motor car which is achieved by mass production is a masterpiece of comfort, precision, balance, and good taste. A house built to order," meaning a custom-made house, a custom-designed house, "is a masterpiece of incongruity, a monstrous thing." And so he thinks of the creation of a car, which is one design and then mass-produced. And he wants to take that and use it for the city. So design one building, one skyscraper, and just mass-produce it for the entire city. I don't want to live in that city. I don't think most people do. One of the things we love about Chicago is the diversity of architecture, the diversity of design. And so I want you to take his ideas, which for the most part are really good. There are lots of really good things about Le Corbusier, but let's not take it wholesale, because there are some elements that are quite problematic. That last quote that I asked you to discuss, which you did beautifully, "A city made for speed is made for success." I loved how you said, this is missing something. This is thinking of the city as an industrializing economic hub. And as my friend said at the beginning of the discussion, and it forgets the people who live there, the communities who live there. Speed and success don't necessarily make for a wonderful life. It might make for an efficient life, which is what he wants, but it doesn't necessarily make it a happy one. And so I want you to sort of take many of his ideas with a grain of salt. There was one moment, you guys talked a lot about something that I had never thought about, and it's of Le Corbusier as a environmentalist, a pre-environmentalist with green spaces and open spaces and all of that. And you have a point there. I was quite intrigued. I had never thought about it that way. I've been taking this class for a while, and this is the first time that we sort of have a conversation like this. But I want you to be aware of something. When he talks about those spaces, he says, and I quote, it's reserved for the growth of the city. So he's thinking of those green spaces as spaces that are going to be green for a bit. And then when the city grows, bye-bye green spaces. And so I love how much you talk about the green in Chicago. That's not the green he was thinking about. He's thinking about a green that is sort of reserved for the construction of the city. Next film, as I said, in color. Playtime. We're staying one more week in France. Although this movie is, you don't really need language to follow it. It's really interesting. It's almost like a silent movie. It's in color. And I want you to be aware that it's a little slow. I love slow. Not everybody does. And it's a comedy. And it's sort of light satire of the city that Le Corbusier is thinking about. I've given you some instructions about how to watch the film. So read those online because I think that might help for some people. And we'll take it from there. Don't forget to meet with me. Don't forget to meet with me. You have till Wednesday so we can talk about the final paper. And we'll take it from there. Next week is a light week, so you'll be okay. You'll be okay. We're almost there. We're almost there. Thanksgiving is coming up. All right. Bye.